Vamp, Chapter 4. About a week later, I was working an afternoon shift at the bar. It was slow, and I had my back to the entrance while I was drying some glasses. I could smell him coming before he even opened the door. I heard every step his steel-toed boots made as they hit the creaky hardwood floor, each step growing louder as it came toward my direction. I waited to hear him sit on the bar stool before I turned around. I could hear his heart beating faster than normal. Is he nervous? I wondered. Hi there, how are you doing? Oh, I'm all right. You? He asked, shifting on the stool. Just dandy. Can I get you anything? I noticed his heartbeat was slowing down now. Slowly and steadily it was going back to the normal rate, and it made my mouth burn. How long had it been since I had blood? I asked myself while mentally calculating the days. The older I got, the less I needed to quench my thirst, but my stock was running low, and I knew I'd have to find another donor sometime soon. How about burger and fries, and a glass of milk? He took off his aviator glasses and set them down on the bar. Sounds good. I'll put the order in for you. I quickly decided that he was one of the most attractive men I had ever seen in my many years. His hair was down today, and it came just to his shoulders. It was curly, too, the perfect spiral curls that most girls would dream of. I imagined running my hand through it. Did you want your milk now? I asked him, forcing myself to be sidetracked from where my thoughts were clearly going. Sure. He sat quietly while I filled his glass. I brought it to him and made sure not to squeeze it too tight this time. So what brings you to this town? It seems a little random to me. What did you do, draw a state out of a hat? Actually, I threw a dart at a map. You're joking, right? He said, raising his eyebrows. Nope, I'm not really a planner and I like to travel. What about your family and friends? Don't have either. Now I know you're lying, he said, looking me straight in the eyes. What do you mean? I said, putting my hand down on the bar, not breaking eye contact. I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I mean, Gretchen. We held each other's gaze for a brief moment before I looked down at the bar and said, I see. Well, it's true. It's hard to keep friends when you move pretty frequently. Wanting to change the subject, I asked. So what's your tattoo of? Oh. He lifted his sleeve so I could see the whole thing. It was an anchor, and the topless mermaid had her fin wrapped around the midsection of the anchor, and her hand hanging onto the top. In the cross-section of the anchor there was a skull head, and then there was seaweed and rope wrapped around the anchor and the mermaid as well. Above the anchor was an eagle with his wings out like it was ready to fly, and in the right wing it said, live fast, and in the left wing it said, die free. It was all done in black with different shading techniques. I like it. Did you design it yourself? Well, I started out with the anchor and mermaid because I own my own crab boat. And then I got into motorcycles and wanted an eagle and the same. The cook interrupted us. Order up. I got Aden's food, grabbed a bottle of ketchup and mustard, and brought his lunch to him. So you're looking for someone to help you out on your boat? Aden looked up a little surprised, then covered his mouth with his fist and chuckled. Someone was eavesdropping last night. I have good hearing. I've always loved that show, Deadliest Catch. Is it actually like that? Yeah, in a way. Every boat has their own routines. I'm captain of Triton. And yes, I'm looking for a greenhorn right now. Why? You want the job? He chuckled as he bit into his burger. Well, I'm always up for a new challenge. Aden chewed his bite while staring at me quizzically. Once he swallowed, he said, You seriously think you could do that job? You said you've seen the show. It looks hard on TV. You actually think you could do it with 20-foot waves washing over the sides of the boat? And on top of that, you're so petite. No offense, I don't think you'd last. Want to make a bet? I may be little, but I'm much stronger than I appear. I'm fast. Small may help more than it might hurt. Let's make a deal. You give me an audition, and if I blow your mind, you give me the job. And if I don't do a good job, your burger and fries are on me for a year. You got a deal. He set his burger down on the plate, wiped his hands on his napkin, and extended his hand for me to shake. To forego the awkwardness of him noticing how cold my hands were, I had been soaking my shaking hand in the warm soapy water. Instant, humanly warm hands, for about 30 seconds. How about you meet me at the marina tomorrow morning, around 8, and we'll get started. Sounds like a plan to me. I let Aden work on his burger and fries while I cleaned behind the bar and waited on a few other people. I watched Aden chewing his burger very slowly while staring at the man sitting next to him. He looked like he was contemplating the next move he could make. I made the move for him. "Sure thing, dear," I said as sarcastically as possible. "Oh, we have a feisty thing here, don't we? My name is Mark. What's a girl like you doing in our small town?" "Well, I was trying to find a town with no arrogant, annoying, sexist male pigs, but it seems I've chosen wrong again," I said, handing Mark his drink. I could see Aden suppress a laugh from the corner of my eye. "So you don't like men? Does that mean you're a lesbian? Can I watch?" He raised his eyebrows and leaned in over the bar. "Jesus Christ, Mark, why don't you shut up for once in your life?" Aden said while setting his burger down and turning Mark's way. "Well, I can see someone's marked his territory," said Mark. "No one has marked any territory, so why don't you both just be quiet like good boys?" Thinking I couldn't hear him, Mark leaned in towards Aden. "She evaded the lesbian question," he whispered. Aden downed the last of his milk, stood up, and threw some money down on the counter for his food. "So I'll see you in the morning, Gretchen." "I'll be there." I smiled and watched him walk out of the bar. And when I say I watched him walk out, I really just stared at his ass until the door closed behind it. Then I looked back at Mark, who was looking at me. "You got a thing for the crab?" he asked. "The crab?" I asked, raising an eyebrow. "And it's none of your business." "Yeah, we call him the crab because he never smiles, laughs, or is nice to anyone. He's been nice to me." "Well, who wouldn't be nice to you? You're a breath of fresh air around here. You're like a new toy on Christmas." I set his basket of mozzarella sticks next to him. "Eat your food." As soon as my shift was over, I went home, enjoyed a glass of blood, and Googled everything I could about crab fishermen and equipment. Since I've got an amazing memory, I can pick up skills quickly. I wasn't at all worried about my audition in the morning. The sun streamed in through the large windows in my living room, casting an orange and red glow across the room. I soaked in its warmth for a moment. The vibrations of my watch brought me back to the present, and I decided it was time to get ready. I threw on an old pair of jeans, some rubber boots, a long-sleeve shirt, and an old sweatshirt, and then ventured down to the marina. It wasn't hard to find the Triton. It was painted yellow and green and was probably around 150 feet in length. "Ahoy there! Anyone home?" I called out from the dock next to the boat. "Hey, Gretchen, come on board," said Aden from the upstairs. I could see from the second story that he was smiling and seemed excited that I had showed up. With that, I took a good leap and was on the boat. "Okay, so I asked my pops to come here today. He'll give you a tour of the boat and explain how things work. Then we can get to work on the audition," he said while actually holding his fingers up to make the quotation. We were both chuckling when Roy walked around the corner as if he was right on cue. "Hello, Gretchen. Are you ready for the tour?" I nodded and followed him around the boat, listening to all of his instructions. We started down in the galley, where the kitchen and the bedrooms were. Then he took me into the engine room and the tanks that hold the crab. When we made our way up to the deck, he explained how they stack and remove the pots with the hydraulic crane system. He showed me where the survival suits and rafts were, and how to put the suit on and inflate the raft. With that, we were ready for Aden so I could do my audition. "Aden, we're all ready to start," Roy hollered from the deck. Aden came down from his post and handed me some bright orange slickers. "I hope these'll fit. They're the smallest ones I could find." "I'm sure they'll be fine." I stepped into the orange slickers and looked up at him and posed goofy with a smile. "How did they look?" "Not bad at all," Aden smiled. "Did my pop explain what you have to do?" "Yes, he did. I need to go to the grinder and grind up the cod and herring, put it in the bait bags, and then I hook the bait bag in the middle of the pot." "Yep, and I'm going to be timing you." "Good. I do better under pressure." "Okay," said Roy. "I'll show you how to do it once through." So I watched Roy work the grinder and stuff the bags and then hang them in the pot. "Okay, I'll time how long it takes you to do it 20 times. I'll take the bags out after you hang them so you can just keep going continuously." "Alrighty." With that, I was off. I started out a little slow, grinding the fish and making sure I got enough in the bags. Then I would run over to the pot and tie it in its proper place. After the 5th time, I picked up my pace a lot. It turned out that my small frame actually allowed me to reach into the pot further and faster than Roy's bulky frame would allow him. When I was all done, I turned towards the men who were staring at the stopwatch. Aden was holding. "Well, Gretchen, you're definitely making me eat my words," said Aden. "You've beat all the times of all the other greenhorns we've had by over 3 minutes and 45 seconds. I have to admit I'm impressed." I was glad to hear that it wasn't an abnormal amount of time. I was trying to make it seem humanly possible after all. My pop and I would like you to join us this season. I've seen you hold your own with Mark, so I'm not worried about you with the guys. And if there are any issues, please come to my dad or myself. So the job is yours if you'd like it. Roy quietly turned to Aden. Are you sure? It's a lot different when we are out on the water with the waves and storms. Of course I'll join your crew, I said, genuinely excited. I had heard Roy, but really what could happen to me? See, when you're dead, you don't have to worry about dying. So you can try everything with zero fear. You get to have a massive bucket list with an infinite amount of time to complete it. We'll be heading out Monday of next week. We like to get together the day before and have a big dinner and a few drinks at the bar across the street, said Aden as he pointed to an old warehouse that had been turned into a bar. Sounds good, I said. Is there anything else I need to do to get ready? You can go to the hardware store in town and get some better fitting slickers, long johns, and sweatshirts. Buy lots, so that you stay warm. Other than that, food and everything is provided, said Roy. The three of us stood there for a handful of awkward seconds in silence. Finally, I piped up. Well, I'll see you guys at Hank's, I'm sure. Let me know what time to meet you at the bar on Sunday. I slipped out of the slickers that Aden had let me borrow, and I turned to head back to my Jeep. As I was hopping off the boat and back onto dry land, I could hear Roy talking to Aden behind me. I can't believe you just offered her that job. This is a far too dangerous place for her to be. I could picture him looking up at Aden, scolding a grown man for hiring a petite woman. So old school. Yet Roy was just trying to protect me, and I thought that was really sweet. She wanted it, and she did better than anyone else, and right now we need anyone at this point, Aden replied. Roy huffed and dropped the subject. You're still not using your mind, boy. Go ask her to do something this evening. Sometimes I swear you're just like your mother. Jesus, Pops, Aden uttered under his breath. All I'm saying is that you're a 28-year-old man, you've got money, a good job, a good degree, and a nice house. Any girl would be happy to be by your side, but instead you just keep pushing them all away. Now pull your head out of your ass, go after her, and ask her to a movie tonight. I heard an exasperated sigh, followed by footsteps running up behind me. Hey, Gretchen. I turned around. You wouldn't want to do something tonight, would you? He ran his hand through his hair, pulling it out of his face, giving me a glimpse of those mesmerizing eyes. Sure, what did you have in mind? I don't know, maybe a movie and dinner? Only if you want to. We don't have to go, but if you want to, we can. It's totally up to you. He was nervously shrugging his shoulders and shoving his hands in his jean pockets. His heart was beating so fast, I thought it might pop out of his chest and start flopping around on the gravel. The mental visual of that made me smile. That sounds fun. I haven't been to a movie in like decades. Not a lie. Movies were all the same these days, just different actors. I reached into my bag and wrote my cell number and my address down on a piece of paper. Give me a call when you're on your way. I'll be at home the rest of the day after I hit up the store. Okay, I'll talk to you in a little bit, he said while putting the note in his pocket. I said goodbye and started off to the store. Once I got home from my errands, I went upstairs and hopped in my shower. I found myself wondering what I was going to wear, how I should do my hair, how I should do my makeup. I've never been concerned with any of this stuff before, so why now? What makes him so different from any other guy I've been with?